Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to another club race of our Mini Mysteries Club. We have two fantastic racers tonight, Judge Joe and S-Grunt. I am Andrew Dave, and I'm joined tonight by Hush Pyramid, our restreamer, Darth Plague, our tracker, and my co-commentator, Deathlike. How are you doing, Deathlike?
Doing alright this night. I watch it just excited for guessing what we're trying to figure what are the flags outside of the objectives, and that's always exciting.
Alright, so it looks like Baron is taking over the seed.
I mean, I have somewhere to go, I guess. So, I mean, this is kind of a dream. When you have objectives that kind of connect to each other, it can work out. So it could be a jet seed, but the fun is the torture of how we're getting there. Barrett, with the Palom start, so it does only take a level to get started, but just hoping for a nice duo pairing, maybe with a Porum as the other teammate to begin with. That might help speed up the seed a bit.
That would. And as S-Grunt is pointing out, did you know we have a 10% chance of only two characters? So if we get Palom Porum, we might just have the twins.
Hey, it's a seed.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like fun.
I mean, there could always be worse pairings, so a twin start would be good. Palom definitely is usually a kind of a pretty good initial part starter. I mean, it only takes one level to get a second level elemental, and you're pretty much kind of move on your way. Really.
Arifus in chat pointing out we do have an edge objective, which means unfortunately the 10% dream is already dashed before we even start the seed.
I think that's true, but I think you could still get an objective that is a character, but not actually get them. Isn't it, like based on they could if basically limited number of characters total in the party, like 4 characters. Although
you could do that.
Think we can but objectively not keep edge for reasons.
We could, but we can't get the no free no earn combo this seed because an edge objective means there has to be characters available somewhere.
Rats. But we'll see how that. We'll see what the rando decides. What the seed will show us.
Yeah, we learned that in the Choose Your Own Ordeals Club last season, where we had a no free no earned seed and tried rolling it with Get Porum. It told us no.
Well, it's the other white mage, so that's I guess is an upgrade, and it's also a technical downgrade because you can't get extra offense, but that's fine. Your offense is sharp objects with a bow and arrow.
And we have Lucas Dolls giving us Lucas Key to start this off.
How quaint! It's not every day where you get the big scary doll giving you the key to the kingdom.
Unfortunately, it's not the kingdom we're looking for the keys right now.
It's an well, it could be worst case. It's an excursion you have to actually go through. So, but hey, well, let's right now. I think Esker is trying to see what some of the flags are like. See the permadeath, or can you run and stuff? Maybe in the dupe glitch. Those things that should be easy to test.
Looking at the menu right now, this is a dupe glitch check.
I think, and Judge Joe is deciding, Lay, I want to loot all of Baron.
I see why. This is wild.
That should make if dupe glitch is on, which I don't think that was the case.
Nope.
Then yeah, you will be able to shop to our heart's content for all the most overpowered things like crystal swords, and that's at least half of the good part of Supermarket Sweep is a different flag set, but buying everything with Shop Swap being wild, and we'll find out what that key item is, free key item is, and oh boy, Party Rock Central.
Judge Joe showing us that Vanilla Traps is not on. Because he just opened the Staleman Skull Chest and didn't run into monsters.
Look, the surprise of Vanilla Traps is just that, vanilla. So, but it's good information to have though.
In 2 minutes in, we are raiding the treasury.
It's kind of right now we don't know what the party mix comp, but I think you got a charm rod out of it, so that's something. Again, but the rest of it not immediately useful outside of like say the ninja hat.
If there's an well, there is an edge in this scene, and we saw a Mura and a Zeus Gauntlet, so some pretty good stuff. And yeah, we did see that Sparse, probably Sparse 80-ish, I would say.
Probably should wait a little bit more, but yeah, Sparse does affect the things. But I think treasures are also T Wild or T Wildish, because I just saw a Protect Ring, and that's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, and a Cursed Ring. That's nice.
Well, that means it can't be pro. It can't be. Well, I don't think standard's even an option, but it can't be pro because 6s aren't there on. The 6s aren't in the public on pro.
So I think we should be able to. We'll be able to figure out if it's what T Wild or T Wild-ish. It's probably Wild-ish. If we get like random Crystal Sword out in a free open chest, then we're more likely to call that more likely to be wild. But I think it seems to be wildish at this point.
I would be inclined to agree with you on that, Deathlike. We've seen reasonable treasure for wildish, and we haven't seen any of the like super high or super low rolls that you see in wild.
Free character.
Yep. Every character spot is now in play. We saw a free and an earned character.
Hey, see, we still get a Porum. It's just delayed. We would have to be here anyways to open, just to get this access. Although if we get the Magma Key, we probably don't even need to visit this. But since we don't know, it doesn't seem to matter.
And then Grunt, now with the knowledge of free characters, gonna go see if he can find an edge.
Is this even?
No, we said edge, not old man.
Well, there's a chance might be in the vanilla spot and the hook route. So, yeah, not interested in the old man. That's fine. We cut. Although, I mean, we have option, and I don't think it's permanent. I hope it's not C-buy though.
Oh, I didn't check the YAML completely beforehand.
I think C-buy is possible.
No, a prompt showed up when Grunt found Datella. It's party size 3.
Oh, well then, I guess well then, I think you might need might need to figure out the third character, if it's a Berserker or go straight Wizards. Might want to just yeet not the Rosa, but yeet the Porum. But it looks like Susgrunt has just yeeted the Rosa with a Sid. Did I just see that?
You did. We also have confirmation that's no dupes, I believe, because the game didn't ask if Grunt wanted to take the Rosa.
Yeah, a dupe. Yeah, that's definitely a good dupe check. I forgot. So that's an interesting choice. Rosa being the first. I guess you want the twins in the sense that you get some extra offense early. So hoping like that is. But hey, just in case you weren't sure, how about second Porum?
Yeah, and right there, no prompt about removing a character, so no dupes.
Does that mean C-buy is on as well though? Because you had. Oh no, we already had Porum in them. Sorry, that's
correct.
Just my brain is mush. It's like wait. We just needed the Rosa, not the Porum. I would have been like, hey, if we had 2 Rosas, and a Pelham. That would be fine. But not the seed.
Judge Joe hawking a bunch of stuff for a crystal ring for this party.
It's kind of. I mean, early the seed is kind of worth it. Oh, that's a reset.
Not even curious to see what the sparkle is. Just nope, I'm out.
Don't even want. Well, most of the you don't want the. No interest in it. There's not a bot. There's no boss hunt on, so there's no reason to even bother. Don't. I mean, you could check. Just like wait a few seconds to check to see what it is to eliminate out of the pool of monsters you have to might fight. But I don't know. Might save a few couple seconds to not even look at it.
I did see on Judge Joe's side that may have come from the Evelyn chest, a cursed ring.
Yeah, I think it was a cursed ring, a protect ring, and collecting all the rings. I think the crystal ring he just bought though is
that was
useful.
bought. And Esgrant also finding a cursed ring.
No shortage of cursed rings. The seed could be cursed though. I mean, you have three characters. Usually not common among flags that we see, but so having a kind of a quality character is important. So right now, Sid is gonna be the anchor, whether he likes it or not. At least for Esgrant.
Sid has chosen not.
This should be quick. Try to get a twin off, and that was it. That's more than enough.
And Judge Joe is about to discover the news about Party Size 3. And makes the same choice, eats the Rosa.
I mean, I think it's the early impact. I mean, outside of Rosa specific, like kind of like love spell learning, like, and pretty much the stats that you really were looking for a character. It's probably one needs the extra time. With
right.
Twin, it's like the flare or the comet is kind of like a virus this early without even having learning a spell. That's useful up to a point. So that kind of shaves like maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute total worth of time that you instead of having Rosa in the party.
Right, and since we're not even going to the moon in this seed, we're probably not spending much time underground. You don't necessarily need Rosa's extra survivability.
Well, we find out what the sparkle is, and we don't. Hey, say bye to Blarg.
Bye, Blarg. I'll miss you. Spoiler, I won't miss it.
We'll probably see another seed. Today, not today. It's fine. Yeah, it's the track. It's the ticket. Just bluff Pelham, and since Pelham is slightly faster only because of position, the damage it's pretty sweet. I mean, Porum takes a nap. That's okay. We're
yeah. The ice chews here tickle a little bit. Judge Joe letting Tella do some work with Ice 1 for 400.
I think. Oh, there's
boy.
Oh, we're gonna route that in at some point. We'll probably do the Baron in first before doing any more work. Judge Joe, I feel like he's gonna have to switch out that Tella, and not because he doesn't need an anchor. It's more of you need some other offense, and Tella. I think Sid actually has more value than Tella in this seed because you already have mages. You might not have all the spells. You might not want to do mono or deal. So, Tella for Judge Joe's case probably will make him spend a little bit of time on mono deals, whereas Esgrant not incentivized to do that because no old men to hold them back. outside of the other old man.
That was a quick reset at Judge Joe. Reset was a little too fast. I think he was just checking who the two characters are here, but didn't wait for the poof.
Still not interested. I wasn't interested for Duperosa, so I guess that says it all. But it's interesting that wasn't interested in Sid. So we'll see how that pans out. Judge Joe is now doing motor deals, and if there's a key item up that is required, the Judge Joe might be in the lead. But this is super free for Escrunt.
Oh yeah, the freest of the free bosses here. I think our runners would like to see this in the basement.
We like King Queen Evelyn are the freebies everyone wants, but well, it's only once per seed. It's like having Blarg every seed, you know. It shows up once, although there's always a 1 out of like 35 chance that the boss won't show up at all. So you know that applies to every boss. So that's a yeah.
So yeah, there's a very good chance we're in go mode because we have access to 4 objectives already.
Oh boy, we can get underground now.
I don't think going underground is the play here.
I mean, there are still locations for Edge. So if it's like a standard character, then the chances are that Edge might be in like say vanilla spot. Like we're seeing a lot. We saw Vanilla Yang as it is. So
the thing is, just following the objective chain, the objectives we have, we're passing through 3 character checks. We have Baron Castle with the 2 in Zot.
I'm curious why Escrunt isn't doing. No, actually, no. Wait, no. There was the opportunity to do like Zot before doing Baron in, but I think the level of difficulty in Baron in is obviously much easier than doing Zot and trying to route that in.
We do see Judge Joe making a play that gained a good bit of popularity during the ZZ5 tournament, taking some Sirens on her deals for levels.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few Sirens pop up, so this is definitely worth at least some of the XP, especially with twins or at least a lot of the mage characters being dependent on level. So this, I think they're trying to get Palom to level 19, maybe. Oh wait, no.
Yes, for Virus.
Yeah, that's the key spell, but Judge Joe's leaving, so I guess.
Yeah, that wasn't a play to go for deals. That was a play for some XP on this party.
Well, then why just do the rest of our deals? That would have probably get him the spell quicker. I mean, though I guess we have the Earth Crystal to visit the treasury for Joe because he hasn't done that yet. I think.
I think the answer to that honestly is don't you get more XP from full defense than you do the first ordeals boss?
Actually, I don't remember. I think that is the case. I think, yeah. It's not, but I would just do the whole sequence of bosses, and
that's fair.
And then, but although we know the magma key is free, like we didn't have to. So you know the hook could be gated by Val for reasons. So that might slow Joe down more than usual. But hey. The king is still on his throne, but it's not. It's still Odin.
Oh, and Porm getting taken out by exact damage to start the fight off.
That's unfortunate. There is some need for Porm to stay upright because she does need some levels. The only real spell to kind of learn is Blink for Porm and Berserk. So being behind doesn't help here. And that Zantetsuken is going to be a wipe. Yeah, So the Kinaza spot has a high spell power. I don't know what it is, but it's super high and no save. Oh yeah, that's the punishment for not saving, especially this early. Like this is not like a late game party where you can probably forgo save for the supplies Blarg, but we know where Blarg is, so there's not many bosses that will hinder Escrunt's progress. But not getting enough time for this for the to avoid Zenzutkin. That that's a setback.
Yes, it is. And we do see Joe's about to make the same play, going to follow in Escrunt's footsteps. Probably exactly the same routing.
I think the trip to Fabul is just to refill the MP. I think using enough twin magic will consumes both twins MP, regardless of what spell is chosen. They both consume the same amount of MP, so it's kind of problematic. So the free refill from doing the Fabul defense is usually handy.
That's what it was. The Fabul defense was enough to get Palom the virus.
It's good timing. Should actually speed it up because even though Odin's weak to lightning, but casting virus is instant. So you want like a virus, then doing twin magic to follow up, and that's kind of optimal damage. So it's kind of unfortunate. Escrunt did the wipe, and will be kind of a little bit behind. So that time, Joe's making up through learning virus will kind of pay off a little bit.
It didn't help Grunt's case at all that Odin decided to take out Porom with exact damage immediately.
Yeah, because that's where the free damage comes from. So it's almost like doubling up the damage. Not quite, but it's good enough to be called double damage. At least this early in the game.
So Judge Joe very quickly threw that Baron in. Turns out having a high power spell makes things faster. Who would have thought it?
Virus is good? Who knew? It's definitely a staple spell, except for certain boss spots like Dark Elf. But besides that, it's kind of like a go-to magic spell if you don't know anything about the weakness of the boss.
Kirito ain't gonna help you here. You gotta kill before Zantetsuken fires, or you're dead.
That's an unfortunate repeat. I think I'm wondering if I don't think partly it's the anchoring situation, though. I mean, because it is pretty slow, so that's not the problem. I think it's just not. Should have just hit the twin button and called it a day. And that tiara doesn't really help unless Porom's being selected for twin. At least this early, Palom usually has the advantage up to a point. I don't remember where that changes, but Porom does get slightly faster than Palom over time. That does have a good suggestion. Slow magic, always good for these buffs.
Slow would work. You could also possibly start tossing Thor rages out. Do we have any Zeus rages? Lit bolts.
Yeah, we got the standard starting kit, so that is definitely on the table. But it's only lightning 1, so it's not really shocking the world, as it were.
It is a lit 1 on a times 4 weakness, so it'll at least do something.
Yeah, Joe's having that moment where, oh no, I'm making the big doll show up and make it like reform the smaller dolls. Those are, that's time eaten.
Yeah, we got the very rarely seen power ran out.
It's a doll grind. That's what it is. Doll grind.
Doll.
So there's a few options on the table, but you should just do virus and then twin off the bat. That's the only way. That's the only way to speed this up. So Judge Joe's definitely going that route. Hopefully that should be enough, unless it's gonna do the reforming, which would be unfortunate. Oh, that's perfect.
There we go.
Its flare has about the same damage spell power as the flare. So flare has the same power as virus. It's like a little less. So it's pretty good.
There we go. With 3,500 point lit 2.
Third time's the charm. At least that's what I'm told.
Odin thinking I'm safe here. Lightning attack could strike twice. Instead gets struck thrice by it.
Yeah, you have to wait till if you were doing specific Odin strats with Edward or Kane. You have to wait to 2 Zinzikins before doing. And hey, that guy, I would love him in the party, but then you'd have to go through Monardio, so that's a no from Esgrunt. Judge Joe might feel differently though.
No, I know Judge Joe well enough. You're going to see the exact same response from Joe.
We'll see. I'm sure it'll be interesting to see. Esgrunt is taking the Sabak that will, except instead of the Enterprise, which you already get for free, we will get the Baron Pot, where all known trash is being and yeah.
Oh.
Yeet Cecil, get Excal. Yep. Oh, it's not quite crystal, but yeah, you
might funny.
It is.
And to the surprise of absolutely no one who has spent time talking to Judge Joe, Cecil gets yeeted immediately.
Well, we'll have to ask him what he thinks of the Excal that will be received in a moment.
Oh, most certainly.
And checking Odin, Pain Man, no, that's not happening. This is a reset.
Yeah, we don't have the HP to tank these.
Even if you got the turn off to use a Cure 3 or Elixir, it's too Sid is too slow. That'd be the other problem there.
That's going to be good news for our runners, because after Zot, they should just be able to immediately go back down to the basement. Sid should have enough HP to tank it.
Yeah, should be enough XP on Zot to do it, I guess. Right now, Stardust. Sell the farm for Stardust Rod.
We see exactly what Judge Joe thinks of Excalibur, immediately hawking it for a stack of ethers.
Hey, it's money in the bank. Although, is it S quarter or is this, we're not worried about that?
That looked like full sell value. That was 63.5 for the Excal.
All right, that sounds good. I mean, it would be bad to have a sell quarter when you're kind of especially with a S Wild, you want all the money you can get for your shopping spree.
That you do. Turns out, top end gear, not cheap.
Well, I honestly think Crystal Ring or the Protect Ring is underrated for the prices they're at. The weapons, they have a wide range of pricing. So it's the best, obviously, should be expensive. It's kind of what's in between value weapons. That's always a thing to look at.
Beauty Discovery and Chad making a good point. Cecil was angry we yeeted him, so he went in the basement to get vengeance. Or was in the basement, putting on some albums, listening to The Cure, being all Dark Knighty, and then we came and interrupted him.
So this is Mylon, Mylon and Friends. So this is, at least we know where this Mylon is. Shouldn't be too bad. It should be doing the same thing. And Tella will try to contribute. Not sure how, but he'll do his best.
Aerithus, K-Trap cannot be on in this flag set. Plus, we know it's not vanilla traps, so not worth it. Good idea, though.
Oh, that blink. Okay, so even utility Tela at his base magic is still pretty useful. Like, he doesn't have like blink still has value, charm has value. Just don't use it on certain enemies. But yeah, you should be. It's kind of surprising how much utility Tela has without learning much. He has stop as well. Like that's still pretty useful, even though it's like an emergency kind of slowdown for enemy's turn.
So Judge Joe threw the Mylon Z, gets Quake on the kid, and we're gonna get our first look at the two characters up here. The seed could end right now.
Yeah, that it could. The objective numbers can be randomized, and also Judge Joe kind of wising. The Val spot is pretty fast, so anchoring Tela right now is a good move before engaging that spot.
If Edge happens to be up here and it's required 3, you only have to fight the boss. The seed ends as soon as you get the characters.
Well, that would be great for us. At least one of us. But another C-Cell shows up, of course, because who doesn't need a second C-Cell?
Nope, no Edge here, so we're fighting the boss at the very least.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be in vanilla Cave Eblin. So that's what's gonna happen.
And the hook is buried somewhere, of course.
Who doesn't love a hook hunt?
I got it. Hook is on Ordeals.
That sounds like a plan. Ooh, turtle at this spot. Ooh.
There are worse spots for the turtle.
There are, I think how much damage is
survivable? Not if it rolls like that, though. Did Porm take a max roll from that wave?
Not sure. I need to know what the HP at the spot is and then do some math.
This spot is 6,000 HP. Porm took 360. I'm fairly certain she took a max roll.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, that's. Surprisingly, usually some Palom should survive it because he would normally have the HP, but that is kind of unfortunate. A lot of seeds slow down quite a bit when the turtle is at a bad spot. Although this is usually not a bad spot, but it's kind of like not a good situation.
Well, yeah, we're not exactly flush with HP, so not doing us any favors there.
It is likely Eskrat will survive it, but that's only if he bothers to heal before the battle, which is like it's happening. So it should be more than enough.
Sid's guaranteed to survive because the wave only does max 360 here.
Yeah, but he's not going to do a lot of DPS. That is the... He has some early game value, but unless you give him like an Ogre Axe this early, or maybe like the Earth Hammer, his effectiveness is kind of limited.
I'm a fan of the DPS rate strategy here against the turtle. Like, don't disrupt the wave, just damage, because once you get some damage in on the turtle, those waves aren't hitting nearly as hard. Yeah. And then you can heal through them.
So that should, that lightning would probably shave off what,
that was 1,200, so shave 50 to 70 damage off, we'll call it.
But that's still a reset. Probably not doing enough DPS, not happy enough DPS, so probably trying to rethink the strategy, because that is certainly something you like, especially at this spot. It's kind of tricky to kind of navigate. How much damage do I need to do? How quick? How fast? It might be worth like even like lowering the battle speed a little bit because the default battle speed in Free Enterprise is the fastest possible, where vanilla battle speed is like 3. So maybe it might be worth slowing the battle speed a little bit just so that Kinazo doesn't get the wave off before, like, say a virus hit.
Oh. And Judge Joe's gonna be through. Turtle has now decided to be a turtle and get inside the shell.
Though right now it's gonna be like maybe be a turn DPS race because it's the problem is that Remedy does heal 10% of its max HP, so
Yep.
that's more than enough. So
and our restreamer Hush Pyramid pointing out Escrunt's Palom only has 27 MP.
you're kind of hoping for some sort of like cabin, but maybe he's just expecting doing classic turtle strats, just using the stock items, the front door reach, and try to use that to deciding that's too slow.
And is it required 3? We're about to find out now. It is not.
Well, we know who we have to face. So the question is how fast are we gonna get there? So we do, since we do the magma key, we could just try to find sirens, do an egg ride, and then come back. I mean, that's the quickest way of doing it.
Judge Joe's going to have to. Joe's party cannot beat this boss with what he's got. The fight is outright unwinnable for him.
Yeah. The only character actually that would be perfect is the Edward. Just swap that. And how I think about it, it's just swap Tella out for Edward, and let Edward do his thing.
Yep.
But he has to be the first one to get out to hide. Otherwise, there's no shot. And
Correct.
that spot is pretty fast, so that is also pretty problematic.
Well, we have a curse string, so dump the battle speed, put the curse string on. Eddie's RA1. You can get the hide off.
Who you put the curse ring on, or does it even matter?
Anyone not named Edward.
Yeah, that's maybe that does. It just. I mean, we got like I think what Judge Joe has probably like 2 curse rings. Does it mean go twice as fast? No. Looks like there might be some grinding in Judge Joe's future. Instead of trying to use the Edward that was provided in the seed to try to kind of grind and survive the TKC, but the Sid has the HP, which Escrunt kind of has advantage because there are situations where just having raw HP will solve things, and outside of Yang, which is also an alternative option, so Sid has higher starting level and higher HP. Sid is probably the better option overall. You just need him to tank. You don't even need to do anything else.
Well, you will need to find a Cure 3 for Sid to throw on himself.
You can find in the shop. It's either a Cure 3 or an Elixir. Those are the Elixir is the more expensive option, but it's still pretty affordable since we can sell whatever junk we had, and Joe is thinking on the same wavelength. We'll swap out a character, and it's probably going to be the Sid.
Yeah, Judge Joe's either going to go for to grind someone up enough to tank the hits, or going to grab that Edward like you were talking about.
That was an interesting blur I just saw just there. It was like it's like the Cecil Rosa kiss, except it's something else. So,
I thought they were doing like the Dragon Ball Z fusion.
That'll be something, but no, but right, Escrunt is. No, it's yeah. I mean, even though it's probably some delay on the stream, but even then, that was a sight to see, though, just for that little brief moment.
We do see Escrunt still trying to decipher this Kenatsu.
I think the trick really maybe it's just to use the lightning, like the classic Kinazo trick with Palom using some virus in between. That just keep using Thor Rages and just consume them all. Don't even think about using a turn for anything else outside of using virus or Thor Rage. That's it.
I do think I saw a Ether 2 in Grunt's inventory.
Was there any camp item usage, tent or a cabin? Because that.
No, I don't think anyone bought any.
Yeah, it's one of those times where you know when you're at a racer, you're trying to you just go, but when you have an MP problem, it's worth saving like the few seconds to just use an item or two just to refill, just in case you actually need all that MP. And in this instance, we'll definitely need like at least 3 viruses to damage Kanazo to death. So it's kind of one of those. Sometimes you slow down to get more time back from doing this.
We do come back to a grind already in progress from Joe. It looks like going to get enough HP on Sid to tank the Dark Waves.
This is interesting. I thought Porm was in the team, but apparently might as well swap Porm out. Probably need more HP, but I don't think I don't think we need the Rosa unless we really need the spells. So I guess Porm has outlived the usefulness. Having Twin is nice, but having a competent white mage who learns spells faster is much more useful at this point.
And this may be the last egg from Joe, because this could get Sid more than enough HP to tank 3 waves.
Well, I think with Rosa, she could probably survive 2 dark waves. So this is so that's definitely the thinking. I can see that. Pal will not survive that, but learn Stone. I mean, that's nice.
Well, we're continuing. Grunt continuing to disrupt the waves, throwing Flare at the Kenatsu for 2,700. Has a turtle in the shell.
That probably will not have enough MP to do a follow-up virus, but that's a pretty harmless wave, and unless these twins pick Comet, which they probably did because that costs nothing. So that's the unfortunate part about not having enough MP, where you are kind of at the mercy of RNG.
But we have a Succubus, we can use that to get some MP.
Is that enough? Will that be enough damage though? Because I think this is some decent spell power. Yeah, spell magic defense. Sorry, on Val, which you've never really you would never have. You don't like in the vanilla aspect. You don't have enough magic power to like spell like you have like all fighters and a Rosa like that. There's no magic, so you never fight with advance her magic defense. So the spell power versus the Succubus is not enough. But that's finally.
We see Grunt through the turtle. A little bit of twin strats, a little bit of nerfing waves, and we're through.
Yeah, that I don't know how the turtle does slow down quite a bit, so it's not, kind of unsurprising that this turtle slowed down our runners. At least as Grunt for a little bit longer than usual. So yeah, turtle at certain spots can be devastating, at least for time.
And on Judge Joe's side, Sid's got 2,000 HP. I'm fairly certain Sid is as safe as can be.
It's fine. No worries here.
Oh, that was fourth wave.
So, no free bosses.
No free bosses. DKC in the basement.
We would have found that out long before the King Queen Evelyn spot. Normally if they, if we let them do their thing, you would have found out whether or not they would kind of kill themselves. But they're too slow.
No, you're right. We should have known that earlier. I wasn't thinking. King Queen never threatened to send us to the Hades.
Yeah, that's it. Now we know. So now we have to punch DKC, which at least makes a more traditional fight, but that also makes it a little harder. May have to grind a little bit more, because Sid has to be berserked and then healed at the same time. So Pelham might not be as useful. It's almost like you wanted like a Porm and Rosa in this setup.
Pelham is most likely cursed here.
That is true, but I think you could. But I don't think. Oh, we don't have enough. I don't think we have enough white mage here to offset a curse ring. If, say, you want to have a Porum and curse the Porum, you would have to have like a white robe and like a life staff to even have a remote chance. And I don't think this is gonna be doable yet. Like Sid's gonna do admirably trying to do damage, but it's not enough DPS. So I think it might be worth putting in the Porum or grinding more. I think grinding is on the top of the top.
I think we grind to Cure 4.
Yeah, I think that's not too far away. It's like 4 more levels for Rosa, so it's not too long. So that should be like 2 sirens or something. And Escort will get the bad news that it's not free. So, yeah.
Escort doing this fight exactly right if free bosses were on.
There is no justice today. Someday, he will see.
And as soon as you see the sword pull back for fourth wave, you know you're in for fun.
Love fun, like memeing new lines for DKC, but this is the times like, oh, oops. So now time to open up the underground and grind, because that's the only good thing at this point for at least for S-Grunt. It makes sense.
Yeah, remember what I was saying? You can just take the Baron basement. It's not a problem. Forget about that.
Was a jet seat until the seat said otherwise. That's a good time. So looks like, we're gonna curse Sid, but they're probably just gonna make him grind anyways. Part of the grind. So, but I still think having a cursed Porum plus Rosa was a better shot of winning, even though Porum will probably die quicker, but having a second alternative, especially to grind, and although not to get Cure 4, because that would take too long, because Porum learning Cure 4 is like 40, 44, some
like 48.
Really large. Yeah, it's further away from Rosa, and I think even J level Rosa will probably learn Cure 4 faster than Porum, which is kind of unfortunate.
And I agree here with stopping at Cure 4. Cure 4 is going to be a huge upgrade just because it's instant cast.
You could just stay at the inn instead of using whatever. That's fine. You're at Baron. The Baron Inn is right there, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that requires you to walk into the town, walk out of the town, sit through the inn cutscene. This is a speed run. We're going fast.
But I like the cutscenes. That's what I'm here for. Some of the time.
Speaking of free bosses that are no longer free, that's some sort of officer sprite in Dwarf Castle.
trying to look for the alternate conditions, so hoping for an edge. So this is actually this is even though this is not free, but this is not too. This might be problematic as well.
This is actually worse than it seems, because you can't size them, you can't silence them, and this spot punches.
Yeah, the big doll spot, very punchy, high magic, high spell power. So actually, I don't think the comment is gonna do. Actually, no, comment doesn't trigger counter spells, which is actually a good thing, but probably the least efficient use of time though, because you have to do it multiple times, and yeah, that's a slow process.
Okay, here's the plan. Show me Rune Axe.
That would save a lot of time. So yeah, Zeskran probably has to check the weapon shop. And it looks like an item shop check for sirens. I think. No, I probably forgot to check just to see if there is a Rune Axe to make that doable.
And as Takamel Raptors is pointing out, you can't call for them. You can't hourglass with no free bosses. You can't do anything to them.
Those rune rings will actually be useful for defense.
Rune rings mage resist.
Yeah, so that allows everyone but Sid to live. So it's only most of the mages, some certain characters like Yang can equip a rune ring. So we're probably maybe you should look for an Aegis shield for if you're gonna do the dolls. I guess that would, but. There aren't really many items, and maybe I think we're looking for. Well, we did find a place to buy sirens, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe it was Agarth.
Yeah, so I think what we're looking. I think he's looking for something, and the elixir is helpful. And the seed is complete. Job dwarf is found. Good night, everyone. No, just kidding. But hey, seed is validated when job dwarf is found.
Yeah, job dwarf today is a legislative assistant.
Yeah. There was a life staff there. So that could actually help. Like if with life staff and the cursed ring, you offset the penalty from lots of stats. So, but yeah, that's the seed. That's hilarious.
Judge. Oh. Okay, Judge showed through the basement, but nope, we gotta find the edge.
Yeah, so there's only a few more spots left. We definitely do not know if it's behind Dwarf 1, or if we need the hook. There's a few more spots left, but there aren't really too many left. It's probably like more like a character standard or something like this. No. Obviously no dupes, but like I'm saying, like they're this probably still restricted as per usual. So although probably worth checking the Sand Ruby set.
Yeah.
Sand Ruby.
I like this check from Joe. Give us a peek. Is the Sand Ruby our end game?
No, but it's a mop. That could be an improvement to replace the Palom or Rosa. Maybe not Rosa. Just maybe replace the Palom outright.
Collecting the mop is effort.
So there's only a few more spots left. So there's, I think, Giant, Cave Ablen, Moon, like the Lunar Dais. So I think that should be it. Oh, package. I'm starting to think package is looking lucrative.
Yeah, package. I think you're right. Package, Dwarf, Hook, and Lunar Dais are left, and Giant.
But JoJo's gonna get the bad news that it's not a boss you can instantly kill. We already know it's no free bosses, so this boss is actually that much harder.
And Chad is cheering for the Giant.
Who doesn't want your character locked away behind the toughest the beefiest HP spot, followed by the nastiest, fastest spell powered spot. Yeah, at the CPU. Yeah, who doesn't love those spots?
So we have 2 guards frozen in time on Joe's side, but Grunt is back in the fight.
So it looks like Quake Kid is going to do his thing. But for first, requires him to be alive to keep bluffing before casting Quake. Blink going to a fallen Palom. So yeah, the guards know what's up.
Yeah, we know where the real threat is here.
It is worth buying the rune rings just to not be punished by these cards. Sid has enough HP to tank it, but no, the Betrayer is our answer, unfortunately.
Yep, Joe's stream comes back just in time to tell us he ain't here. Keep searching.
Maybe we should check if the warp glitch is on. That might be nice. Maybe get the darkness crystal out of this vanilla spot, and so we don't have to maybe skip a few things to see who's on the lunar dais. I think that might be worth doing.
It's just CPU at Dwarf 2, which a simple Quake makes that go away.
Pro tip: things that float are not actually flying. So
Yes.
it's only monsters that are weak against arrows. So that's the only time where they're immune to Quake, and even that has like a special exception when they're summoned.
So let's see, we have the CPU, which certainly looks like it's floating. You have Tricker, which actually has the float animation going. No, they're actually on the ground.
It's a trick. Now, I suggest you cast lightning on them. That's the solution.
Yes, always lit your Trickers. What's the worst that can happen?
No, nothing happens. Also machines. The CPU. No, lightning. Lightning. Well, I think. Well, we'll hoping that.
Yeah.
Hoping Joe shows up, but by the time we can see him warp, at least attempt the warp glitch, the whole thing. But we'll see. CPU not doing Escrunt any favors though.
Porum is up, getting some heals out in the party. Yeah, this party is now completely comfy. Gonna bluff to make sure the Quake sweeps the CPU.
Yeah, unlike Joe, Escrunt didn't actually do a grind. Like Joe did a pretty massive grind, egg grind, and that helped a lot. So here Escrunt is, without having not done any grind, is kind of suffering the kind of the kind of the not enough level syndrome. Sometimes you want to have done a little bit of a grind before facing certain bosses, and while this is not a threatening boss at this spot, that like the guards would have saved a few more not time by not being hit hard enough to fall down immediately. So it's kind of one of those times where when you get underground, sometimes you want to do a grind for kind of like early preparedness for these type of bosses.
That's completely correct. And while we couldn't see on Joe's side due to more technical difficulties, we will get to see the warp glitch and what Luca's showing, or what Luca's got around the neck.
She carries a lot of hard stuff, heaviest of all things, and just already this Feymarch. We have no idea what that is. Warp glitch not enabled. Doesn't prevent the warp. It just prevents the item from appearing. But yeah, thanks game.
And the crystal, so both runners having that.
Hey, we can go to Z now.
And we go see what. If we were to go to Z, we'd see what kind of message it's got for us.
Z says nice things on his day off. That's the thing.
So as far as we know, the only other thing Joe has done is go to the Fey March.
Yeah, probably is not worth. It's probably nothing. No, so that's what it feels like. But you know, the Luki Key, we started off the game with that. So if we follow that objective, we might be, could be fortunate enough to find out what's worth. And hey, we do have an Edward in this seed, so we could use a spoon. But there's also a chance that flag might not even be enabled.
I don't blame anyone for not grinding the Edward in hopes of maybe the spoon flag being on. Yeah. Especially on party size 3.
Well, consider this, that we wouldn't have been able to if we swapped him in for the DKC, that would now, since obviously we have to kill him the traditional way. Yeah, the Edward would have been completely kind of out of his depth.
Just some Zeus gloves from Sealed Cave, so that's not the answer.
Well, there aren't too many objectives left, so we should be hoping for maybe a harp. I know K-Main is a thing, but I'm thinking, but Case Summon is
Case Summon.
Yeah. Case Summon can be on the table. Probably is on the table.
Right, and Case Summon is on the table because that Excal we hit.
So yeah, looking to swap more characters. It's a seed when you are actually actively swapping characters more than once, and it's not just because you made a mistake. It's, hey, things have changed.
I hadn't thought about the implications of the Excal first because I was too busy laughing at the Yeet Cecil immediately get weapon for him trick.
That means a trip to Mount Ordeals. I think Cecil swapped in, but I see Alt Gauntlet on Judge Joe's screen. Oh boy.
Gauntlet in the Super Cannon room. Fun times. Which Gauntlet is it though? It's regular Gauntlet.
Ooh, classic. And we can't eliminate them quickly because boss. The no free bosses. Means boss bid is on, but the HP is pretty low at this spot. Super low.
We can eliminate them quickly because this spot has 597 HP.
Split amongst all the whole set of bosses. It's like with 5 or 6. It's like they. You might as well just punch them or use Yang to kick them. We don't. We do have a Yang, but not being used for this purpose.
Now instead we're going to use Virus to sweep all of them. Still relatively quick.
Shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's. I wish there was a kind of weaker virus, but it's fine. It's more. It's not like they have enough HP to slow you down, so it's fine.
To answer your question, chat, yes, the gargoyle does fly.
It's weak to arrows, so yes, it does. Its Quake doesn't work on it.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
I've, in Supermarket Sweep, I believe it was, tried to Gaia Drum one of them.
Oh, that's cute. It's yeah. That's why sometimes this game has lots of contradictions for bosses. It's hilarious, to say the least. Yeah, Mylon. Yes, regular Mylon Zed. He's floating, but he doesn't look like he's floating. It's trick of the mind.
Oh, yeah, Miles, he's floating just like 1 centimeter over the ground.
Hey, you just have to be hovering. That's all that matters.
Back attack on our deals. It's an octopus.
It's not a Val. If it was a Val, I'd be mildly surprised. The seed has a lot of jokes, but squid climbing up mountains, that's normal.
On the bright side, if that were... Nope, Val's right there.
But she's easy. She can be hit by magic. This is one of the few spots where magic hits perfectly. Dr. Ligay spot has 0 magic defense to speak of. So that's why Val has 0 magic defense to speak of, even in spin form.
So on the bright side, if Val had been a back attack, Sid's got to have 6 or 7 multipliers with all the strength gear.
Yeah, Sid was for S-Grunt. Sid is also the anchor, although we don't even know if vanilla flags for agility are available for the flag set. I'm trying to remember if it were, but it probably doesn't matter too much.
5% chance of vanilla agility.
That would be a fun surprise if that were the case. If it were on. Oh boy. Does Joe know that this Val is actually harmless? Like you can use magic on it. No worries.
Ooh. That's a pickup from Ordeals.
I missed it. It blinked.
Package.
That is worth checking immediately.
We're on a character hunt.
This is still an easy free water hag, even though you don't have to see Anna interrupt too much. Like, just need to do the requisite 1000 HP that is for this DKC spot.
Ooh, if Sid gets the kill here, well, I believe Anna just gets left behind.
Oh, it's just so close. Like under 50 HP. So close.
You tried, Sid. Now, Water Hag under no free bosses gets friendlier at low HP spots.
Yeah, but I mean, we're used to the Water Hag three punch KO, but and the Water Hag will have like max HP. But this, when no free bosses is on, it just means that it just inherits whatever HP is at the spot, and this spot is pretty weak. So this is kind of a nice change of pace, even though it ends up having the same 3-hit KO that we are used to seeing.
Just without the arg.
Well, we don't need a dramatic Water Hag. That's unnecessary. And that's unnecessary. A Legend Sword, not what Joe's looking for.
It wouldn't really be a Final Fantasy game without some sort of overly dramatic death at some point.
That is true. So I think right now, Fame March bosses are on the table now.
We've done that for a while.
There's also doing the Sheila 1 check. That is probably we have no pen. Just makes it like, if do you really want to do the Feymarsh bosses or do the Sheila 1 check? I think Sheila 1 check looks more appealing. Although if Joe does have the levels, so probably can at least try it outright. I'm not sure we peaked the King Queen spots.
I don't believe anyone has. I don't know if Joe did because we were having technical issues when he was down there.
I think the minimum, at least the key item was picked up. So
yeah, we saw the chest open.
But we'll see what the Super Cannon room leaves us with. Hey!
The darkness.
Let's go do that right now, because no one wants to do any other checks.
Well, darkness is potential go mode, so we're about to see who's on the dais. After the cutscene, so give us 2 minutes.
Well, I'll probably have to figure out what the alternative plan if the character is not on the lunar dais. But there are only a few more checks left. Eskern hasn't. I don't think Eskern has checked the package yet, has he? Because
Eskern did, and it was Cecil.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
After Ordeals, Eskern beeline to Miss to check that.
That wouldn't be the first thing I would do too. Yeah, that coffin you picked up from the Odin spot from DKC. Yeah, that's what your hard-earned item collecting is for.
And you're not using any bosses, unfortunately.
Yeah, normally would be good for something like the 2 Baron guards, but not this aid.
So, Chad is cheering for a edge on the giant.
That is a spot. It's not out of the realm, and though just remember dupe characters. Well, we'll still see dupe characters show up, but there is a possibility they'll be dupes, so could be anywhere. And hopefully Joe is rewarded or punished.
It could be anywhere. It could even be not here. So, Hook or Giant?
Giant now. Let's do it now.
Yep.
Now, there aren't too many bosses that would actually enter. I think Golbez at the element spot is probably the worst. Next worst is the Golbez at CPU spot. So those Golbez spots are few and far between, but when they're they're hilariously bad.
You want to be really bad here? Dark Imps at CPU.
Oh, that spot unchecked because CPU doesn't punch, so they become super OP.
And no free bosses, you can't shut them down.
Yeah, with 3 characters and they punch hard, it's gonna be. Well, at least you can get out of the giant, because not being able to get out of the giant from that would be kind of hilarious too.
Of course, we could always just have the ever fun trolling. We haven't seen Demist yet, I believe.
Demist at elements. Oh boy, that would. Oh, that's a slog. That's a real slog.
It's not a hard fight. It's just rude.
How would you like every 3-4 punches that your boss becomes invincible for a period of time? That's fun.
Yeah, everyone's thinking what could kill this party. I'm going straight to hurt the player's soul.
This is just as bad. This is just as bad. No, because there's a lot of HP and it's absorbed a bit, so. Bomb will have a truckload of HP. The smaller bombs cannot be quaked to death. It's like there's a lot of HP here. Like this is arguably one of the worst spots for a bomb.
Yeah, if you don't have the DPS to burn through explode phase before it goes off.
Yeah, so you almost kind of want Paladin to be at nuke level. That's kind of where we're at. But Quake will still be enough, but probably you'll still want to bluff to max spell power first. So that might require like 3 more bluffs or something like that. It's like 3 bluffs. That gets you. Each bluff is 16 points to wisdom. So so that's about 48 points. So that should be more than enough. If you're not sure, do another one, and so that's 64 total, plus whatever wisdom when you have having Quake, probably already has the 32 or so wisdom or more. So that should be enough to be at capped spell power.
The Paladin is cursed, so 1 more for good luck.
Oh, yeah, cursed. Forgot about that.
Now, with the damage Sid's putting out, you'll get 4 swings or so after Explode Phase triggers, plus a max power Quake from Palam. That should be enough to power straight through Explode.
Not worried about the explode. The exploding is I think it's like a fire 2 without split damage. It's not even that hot. It's not even that strong. But it's spell power isn't that high. So especially for the element spot, fortunately. So still, it's manageable.
Curios is not Sid Hero. It's just this is honestly the best party we found. Unless you wanted to take accessible ordeals.
I don't think we found anything of value on our deals, so that's that's also kind of the ordeals optional when you don't have to. So it will. I mean, for Escrunt the fight will definitely be faster, but Judge Joe with Quake Kid, it's still very doable.
To answer your question, chat, yes, it's party size 3. It is not C Hero. I don't believe it's vanilla agility. It hasn't been acting like it on Grunt's side.
Yeah, because if vanilla agility was on, then Sid's purpose in that party is pointless. So since agility hasn't changed, Sid is probably going to be anchor in that party anyways. Alright, just need a DPS 10k worth of HP. It's probably lower than that because of natural damage, as the trigger, this is not a counter trigger, it's more of a, actual trigger. Like the once you reach under 10,000 HP, just go into explode phase. And Joe has 0 issues because Quake Kid does Quake.
Yeah, Mob Bomb there, honestly, that's not a terribly rude spot for it because you can usually just burn through the extra HP before the explode.
Yeah, it's only a problem when you don't do enough damage. That's when it becomes a problem. And the bombs themselves will have more HP than a single Quake can usually take on.
It's like looking at Grunt's side, there's no chance of no agility. It's acting exactly like you would expect if Cursed Sid were anchoring. Hey! This is free.
Yeah.
We have Veils. This is 100% free.
Yeah, so the thing about this spot is it has super high spell power. It's higher than what a normal character is able to use for spell multipliers, and Rosa probably has the Crystal Ring because Judge Joe decided to go out of his way to buy Crystal Ring just for this guy.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Calculate deal exactly with the Root Golbez. Not just because Crystal Rings are really good pieces of gear or anything like that.
Fine. Especially with the niceness is that with the 3 characters max, this is painless, but this size was completely unnecessary. It's actually too slow.
I disagree. Having a tiny Rosa beat up Golbez is well worth it.
I mean, the spell power is pretty high, so and this spot has what? I'm trying to remember.
24.
Yeah, so it's pretty. He should eliminate himself pretty quick. Fire. He's actually against fire, so fire 2 does quite a bit of damage. Same as virus, effectively.
Yep, the lick 3 and then punch and it's over.
Mini punch. Why?
That's why it was worth the mini. Just a little boop for 1 at the end.
And is there an edge at this spot? That is the question.
There is. Giant was the answer.
Seed completed. Just wait, Joe. We'll just watch the cutscene, and then we're done. Thank goodness for Giant. I'm not sure if we could, if there was enough time for K summon K March, because Fey March, because that would have been the part of the next few things to be done.
But as Edge joins us to rejoice on the Lunar Whale, we get our congratulations. Judge Joe finishes the seed in second place overall. Warlink winning the race off stream with a time of 1 hour 14 minutes 32 seconds.
You used a Warlink. I mean, who would have thunk this seed would have probably required at least a character change outright, even if.
And we're joined by Judge Joe. GG's, Joe.
Thank you. That seed had a couple jokes.
Yeah, first thing I say, fourth wave?
Fourth wave.
Fourth wave.
I'm like, I've got anchoring, blink, quakes, ethers. What'll be the problem? Sees the boss. Alrighty, let's find sirens. Found siren. Do sirens. Alright, I've got HP. What'll be the problem? Sees boss. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's go back to a little more sirens.
Yeah, I think you probably didn't get enough time for the free King Queen Evelyn and Baron Inn to find out whether that fight was free, right? I mean, that was probably didn't notice how maybe how kind of protracted that match fight was.
It's not that. I missed it on the restream on comms, but as I said, the King Queen didn't. I believe you killed before you could have threatened to send you to Hades.
It's a slow spot, probably. I just chucked. It's slow enough that I sure wasn't even going to get time to just die either, so. Because all I did was, I think, virus twin virus, and yeah. I had a crystal ring, it was slow. So, that could have been a good sign, but. Oh well. I figured the seed out eventually. The lower Babel Tower kind of sucked, though.
Oh yeah, the old gauntlet trick.
Yeah, and the whole vow. I mean, the vow wasn't needed, but part of the reason I went to the giant when I did was there was an X-Cal Cecil available. If you have to go and clear too much of the seed, that is faster than Earthhammer Sid. Therefore, I need to go to Giant now if it's Giant.
So what are your thoughts when you got to Cecil and immediately got a weapon for him?
Whatever, doesn't matter. I probably don't care at all. Sad it wasn't Edge.
Yeah, we were. I think we were hypothesizing where Edge could have been. There wasn't too many left, and there was a
Package or hook route.
We saw the package. It's a Cecil.
Was Sheila 1 the package or the hook? It was the hook.
It was the vanilla pan.
Fair enough.
Yeah, package was from Ordeals.
Ah. So either the hook comes from that pan and there's maybe a character there, or it's K-Summon, which it might be. There might have been enough Zonks.
Well, there was at least one, which is all you need.
Yep.
Hook was behind
So,
the demon,
After Giant...
which was at Fey March, at the king spot.
Yep.
So that's, yeah.
If it wasn't Giant, I was going straight to the Fey March.
Yeah.
Because one Zonk was pretty sure that meant Summon was on, and was pretty sure that would mean that's where I would need to go at that point.
So
You go ahead.
just had any other thoughts of this seed? Because this seed was pretty wild considering like how many the three characters, the character changes, the no free bosses. I mean,
Win is a good spell. Until it's not. Stupid Calbrena dolls and... Oh, I'll just need Flare to get through. Comet. Fine, I just need Comet to get through. Flare.
Yeah, we saw you wanted to get a little doll grind.
It wasn't even enough to go and get me Quake, even. I'm sad. But yeah, no. Fun seed. Glad we can get some of these. Always a good time to be able to go and showcase why Porum is the better white mage early on. If you have a Palom. And sometimes if you don't have a Palom. But also then showcase why Rose's HP pools can have meaning.
And also learning Cure 4 10 levels earlier.
The Cure 3 was healing enough. It was being able to survive 2 hits if need be.
was there a thought to like ditch Tella when when Sid was at Mysidia? You could have had Sid much earlier, and then you wouldn't have needed Tella at all.
Tella's a blink caster. I value blink casters when I'm doing poor play. If it wasn't DKC, let's say Paladin, for example, or Ogopogo would have been a pain, but would have been dealable. If it was Ogopogo, Telos with his blink spell would have been much, much better than Sid. So he was able to act as an anchor that could cast blink, which would give me 2 blink casters and a super bluffed Palom to deal with most Odin Throne fights. Sadly, not the one that we had today.
Yeah, unfortunately, we found one of the few bosses that really just says no to that strategy.
The other one would be... Again, maybe Ogopogo would have been problematic. Val would have been the other problem. I think those are the only 2 that would have been a true problem with the party I had. But maybe I'm forgetting something.
I mean, Val and
Magus.
I think Val in that seed though was at a spot where had 0 magic defense. You know, the top of the lower Babel, the Dr. Lugia spot. So kind of harmless by comparison.
Harmless, yes, but being able to cast magic doesn't help when Val would not stop hitting Palom. Bop, bop, bop. Also, I think I made a mistake in that fight and started off with Berserk instead of Blink, which kept me a Bacchus, but it didn't help for that fight. Well, thanks for putting on the restream. Going to enjoy watching what I can of this one, and hope everyone who was watching, saw some fun things from the both of us, and had a good night.
Hey, thank you for letting yourself be restreamed. Can't put on a show without you.
GG's again, Joe.
Thanks. Hope you guys all have a good night as well.
And while we're talking to Judge Joe, S-Run did get through the DKC, and will likely be going to the dais and then hopefully the Giants. We know that's an answer.
Well, we don't know what's what's actually behind the hook, like if Edge is at that spot. It's not guaranteed, and we know that the hook is behind D-Mist at the King spot at Feymarch. So that's a. I don't think that's a. I think this is a better scenario. If I feel it's a faster, even though no one likes to do elements with the element spot with Mom Bomb, or Golbez is pretty free at the CPU, but yeah, doing D-Mist, especially with the Crystal Sword, that's not a lot of fun.
While Grunt is off to find the Edge, going through first the Mom Bomb and then Golbez, I would like to shout out our restream, our behind the scenes crew, Hush Pyramid, who's been keeping us all on track. Doing a great job. The restream, Darth Plagueis pushing all the buttons. There's been a lot of them in the press, and you as well, Duff. It's fun doing this with you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like guessing the flags is the better mystery, and then figuring out how to solve the mystery provided to us.
Solving the mystery is the easy part. First you get yourself a van and a talking dog.
But then you need to paint it with Mystery Machine, though.
Of course. What else are you gonna paint it with?
I don't know. Well, let's see. Well, Mom Bomb shouldn't be. This might be a bit slow. Unlike, well, maybe quicker in the sense that Berserk Paladin is a solution to everything.
Yeah, we see even with an Excal doing 3k a swing, we're not going to see Mom Bomb explode.
I mean, it's different from Paladin using Quakes, and that depends on NP. So this is a lot more quicker, particularly.
Yeah, once Explode Phase triggers, Cecil's through it in 3 swings.
Probably, I think for the damage Cecil's doing is probably on 2, but
I thought the trigger was 10k HP left. I could be mistaken.
Well, yeah, but but when you're triggering it, you're probably quite a bit under 10 HP, 10,000 HP. So. I don't think you could do it much faster. It's either because you're still gonna have to have an anchor outside of maybe Cecil, Palom, and Rosa. Just curse Palom. So you'll get some Quakes in, and that would probably speed it up a little bit, but not by too much though.
And you're going to want the curse to ring on someone because
you want it on the Palom Quake Kid. Curse Quake Kid.
This spot unanchored, no thank you.
Yeah, they go on blazing speeds at this point, so that's why when you have a full party, it's easier to handle. But with having that few characters, then without levels, those punches really do add up, and especially at the frequency they come.
Yeah, we'll see how Escort handles the upcoming Golbez.
I mean, at this point, you're kind of prepared for a ha 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 to show up, and so, I mean, not likely you consumed the all the star veils. The only thing is to be surprised. Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, it's this guy again. Getting veils up on Cecil and Rosa before the ha 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 script starts is nice.
Well, someone's gonna die, and I don't think a ribbon's been picked up, so someone's gonna die. Probably doesn't make a difference, and I think Escrow has a preference that it be Sid because he's not getting his turn off.
Nope, both the others have veils, so whoever falls, someone's still got wall up when Shadow goes away.
Yeah, so Walken's kind of stamp indefinitely when the boss is super fast and you are anchoring pretty slowly, I think. So I'm not really concerned about the wall at this point. So, but yeah.
Golbez has decided his brother has to go.
The dragon was hungry. Just
wanted that extra spicy crunch of paladin armor, I guess.
well, it's the opposite of Burr, I think.
Herb?
Sure. Trying to get Cecil up, but if the spells come out, and that's fine. Golbez would probably murder himself at this rate. It's good, without too much intervention, fortunately.
Yeah, despite only 24,000 HP, the Lit 3s are doing 8k.
Yep.
Next week.
Oh yeah, he's weak to holy and fire, so Cecil's X-Cal is doing extra damage in addition to the fire 2s that were being reflected. And Escront's gonna find out the seed is over for him.
Breathe a sigh of relief, Escrunt. You don't have to go find the hook.
It would be hilarious if the hook did actually lead to the vanilla edge. That would be hilarious.
And that will do it. Escrunt is finished at a time of 1 hour 34 minutes and 7 seconds.
GG's to Escrunt, who invented this masterpiece. He didn't roll it, but he did create. I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, he was responsible for this club. So this is what he did.
And we are joined by Escrunt.
Yeah, I have words, believe me.
I believe you did this to yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but yes. I mean, we were joking about hitting, some of the 10% chances. Look, it's Beano free on a seed where I could have been through that Dark Knight Sissel a lot sooner than I actually was, and then I wasn't.
I mean, you had bosses all in the right places. Like, turtle top of tower.
Yeah.
Mr. Ha 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 to be at the CPU. I mean, there's.
Well, Golbez in that spot is not particularly difficult to deal with if you're on the ball, and I mean, I slightly botched that, but I'm on the whole, I'm pretty happy with how that ended up going.
I mean, he also summoned regular Gauntlet in the super cannon room. I mean, who's?
Yeah, you saw me. You can imagine what I was saying to myself there as I press the A button and I see the 3 blue robes there, and oh no, not again, more or less. Fortunately, it was the regular gauntlet. The alt gauntlet in that squad is actually much nastier for that particular party composition that I was bringing in there. So, well, I guess it's nastier in general, depending on what party you've got there. But was small favors, I suppose.
So, what was made you turn around and decide I'm going to use this paladin?
So I'm sitting there. I've gotten through Dwarf Castle. I don't have an edge in hand yet, and I'm thinking to myself, if this is Ulrek all, and or I don't find the Darkness Crystal soon, or the Sand Ruby soon, should Edge happen to be behind it. What I'm going to need to get to that Dark Knight Cecil is people with significant amounts of health, and while Sid qualifies for that, he's not going to be able to do the job on his own. And so I said to myself, I've got an Excal, I can go get the Paladin, and I can go get the White Mage with more health available, and that'll give me a party setup that I can use to get through DKC, and if I need to go up to the Giant eventually, which of course I did, that'll be a much better party for getting through that.
How was DKC at Odin when you realized at the fourth wave that showed up?
Yeah, fourth wave, instant reset. I need to rethink what I'm doing here. Hopefully, my immediate thought was, well, I can go see if this is OREC 4 and go to Dwarf Castle, which was the only open character check I had left at that point, see if I can pull Edge, and then, of course, the Beano-free Baron Guards show up there to ruin my day. If I remembered that I'd started with Sirens, I probably just would have popped one of them right away to get Paladin up to Quake and retake that fight immediately. I did eventually do that, I just didn't remember that I had Sirens to begin with.
I think there were Sirens at Agart. So if you weren't when
well,
shopping,
yeah, I did get the Sirens from Agart. You saw me pull a few of them much later after I'd gotten Cecil and Rosa on, pick them up, get them online to get to that DKC fight.
So, early game, you chose to take the Twins and Sid over
Yeah.
a Teller and a Rosa, I believe it was.
Yeah. So, as you saw, the Twins can make short work of basically anything in the overworld. I picked Sid because I wanted someone with relatively high health, and well, I guess a better way of putting it is that Sid also is someone who can do very well on the overworld on his own. He kind of peters off later in the game if you don't get the right equipment to go with him, and of course it was a very long time before I decided to find that Ogre Axe or anything along those lines. But Sid is quite a good character fairly early on, and later on in the game, especially if you've got a Cursed Ring and a Dwarf Anchor, he makes for an excellent anchor as well. So he's saved with the party the entire seed, apart from the one time when I accidentally got rid of him for a moment. But my intent was to keep him the entire seed until Edge showed up. And possibly keep him afterwards, depending on what else I had going right there. And he did an admirable job for what I wanted him to do.
Yeah, you were making good work of Sid.
Yeah, it's sort of the kind of overworld that really plays to his strengths, the strengths of the Twins. It was things were going well up until the point I saw that fourth wave, and then everything sort of fell apart.
Yeah, well, you have any last thoughts about the seed, about how your club is going? About it?
I'm a little bit bemused that once again, as was said in the pre-race discussion, that the mini seems to refer to the chances of these seeds ever going less than an hour. I guess the very first seed we had this season sort of made up for everything else, but it was fun. Besides, I don't play Beano free seeds very often. It was just enough of a curveball to sort of throw me off towards the end there, and it was an interesting little puzzle seed in my view. Like you've got the party size 3, you've got the how do you get the minimal selection of characters through the overworld? How do you deal with that DKC? And how do you eventually want to get through the giant? And, well, I mean, towards the end of the seed, I had Power Couple and Sip as the anchor, and they can basically get through anything. And so they did. I'm looking forward to see what we come up with next time. Maybe we'll get the other legendary 10% at some point.
Yeah, unfortunately, we knew right from the start it couldn't hit this seed.
Well, true. So, I mean, I'm pretty. If I remember my own YAML correctly, which there's a lot to take in there. I'm pretty sure the hit chance of Bino pre-hitting is also 10%. So there you go. But yeah, that's basically it. So I want to thank you, Dave, and Deathlike, and Hushed Pyramid on the restream, and the only Darth Plagueis pushing the buttons tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching me suffer through that. And hopefully we'll see some more of you show up for the next race, and maybe watch the next restream for this.
And thank you for letting Sophie restream. And creating this club.
GG's again, Escrunt.
Hey, well, Deathlike, I think that's going to do it for us here. But we're not done with Enterprise tonight, are we?
No, we're definitely going to forward you on to Possum Morpheus, who's running a PB2J seed from Pink Puff Fleet Async. So that'll be exciting. And for tomorrow, there'll be more free Enterprise with the Bacchus Drinkers Club, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern.
All right, I believe Eddie is our main character for this next one.
Oh, the excitement
Rotella,
continues.
apologies.
Oh, it's fun. He's the first Luke Goblin of all things. So yeah, and yeah, please when we're moving on there, please do not spoil the race. Because newspapers will be flying. At least that's what I've been told. And newspapers flying are a common occurrence somehow. Not sure how or why.